Yo,
Hello, hello.
what's going on?
Nothing much. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you. How you feeling?
Good, good. Okay, please introduce us to yourself. What are you drinking?
That cherry vanilla Coca-Cola is the best right now.
Oh my. All right,
But
please introduce us to yourself.
I go by the name of Kid Foolie, you know what I mean? Founder, CEO at ADHD, ambitious dreamers honing destiny. You know, nobody know it right now, but trust me, pretty soon they will.
No, I think everyone knows it. I think you're downplaying how popular you are.
I mean, I don't feel it yet, but I'm trying to get there.
Okay. Well, I think sometimes we just don't notice it. Because I've been
Yeah.
stalking your page for a while. I'm like, yo, he's super popular. Like, I'm like, what is he talking about? Okay,
Uh,
so we have to talk about your name first. Let's
okay.
talk about Foolie first.
Okay. What specifically about it?
Where'd you get the name from? What does it mean?
All right, so long story short, um, I I was growing up in Atlanta, north side of Atlanta, right? And I went to the Tequila middle school. I don't think I ever went to the high school. But anyways, long story short, I was going by Goonie. You know what I mean? That was a big thing when I was in middle school, like being a goon, in terms of another word for it though. Anyways, some dude that I had beef with basically took my name and then I'm just like, yo, I can't like we can't both be beefing with the same name. That's weird. So I just changed my name to Foolie because I looked up the actual dictionary term of a goon and I was like, well, I'm not stupid, you know what I mean? I'm not a simp, like, and I don't follow nobody's orders, so I'm like, I'll just go with Foolie, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just more pertaining to the flow and the in my style of music, the way I create. Like, I'm hoping that people feel like, okay, this is not something that I'm used to.
What
So
does
yeah.
Goonie mean?
Long story short, it was like a henchman, and then it said, I can't remember what it said, but whatever it said, I was just like, oh no, I don't want to be labeled that. Like, basically, it said, I think basically it said a fool, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just be Foolie, and then just flip it like with the way that I rap. So when people see my name, they might think some gangster shit about to go off or whatever, but now I'm really trying to motivate people, uplift them, and all of that.
So
So
let's talk about
yeah.
ADHD. It's an
Okay.
acronym for something for you. What is it?
Ambitious dreamers honing destiny.
Where'd you get that from?
I basically just honestly it started with you familiar with Kendrick Lamar's song ADHD?
I'm not no.
Oh my God, it's a great song. You gotta listen to it. Anyways, this is when he first came out. Like he wasn't even really popular at this time. So I'm listening to his old stuff, and then that song ADHD. It was like my favorite song at the time. And then I was in school, and that was just one of the things that I just struggled with was like focusing. So I would never pay attention in class. Like always finding excuses to leave and roam or whatever. So I was just like, all right, at that time people was really getting into mental health and really opening up about it. So I'm like, all right, what if we flip it and make it something positive and motivational instead of people thinking like, oh, it's a bad thing. Like, nah, use it to your advantage. Like me, I can't stop moving, can't stop doing stuff. So it helps me get a lot more done. You know what I mean? Like I don't look at it as a bad thing. I don't take Adderall, none of that. Nothing. Mm-mm.
Do you think that's we're gonna talk about your music in a second. Sorry, but this is very interesting. Do you think that hey Evie, the medicine is hindering the creative process?
I
Can you
watch
elaborate on that?
only because I physically saw what it did. I'm pretty sure he was on other medication, but my little brother, when I was growing up in Columbus, he took Adderall and all of that. So yeah, he might be focused during the day, like not getting in trouble and all of that, but at the same time, he would come home and he would be a zombie. He wouldn't
Yeah.
eat. Like if he did sleep, that's all he did was sleep. But then he'd just be up, and I was like, "Yo, this is crazy." To the point where he just like he would have to like hide the pills, like act like he took them or whatever, and then like I don't know. Like, I think sometimes he even gagged him up. Like, it was that serious. Like, he just hated how he felt. Like, so, I mean, not to put his business out there, but he started smoking weed and started doing much better, in my opinion. So, that's just my opinion. I don't believe in taking, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm taking some Tylenol. You get a headache, you know, a
Yeah,
toothache, you
yeah.
know.
I mean, everyone's done that.
But I don't believe in taking, like, Percocets and, you know what I mean, all of that, how rappers glorify that. I'm not into that at all because that's part of what's holding us back as a culture and a community,
So
in my
touching
opinion.
back on that, do you think that being a thug is a phase that is borderline kind of dangerous?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Can you
if
elaborate on that?
just if people looking at what's going on now, like in the same month, we lost two up and coming rappers. As far as I know, like I don't check the news or nothing, but as
Mhm.
far as I know, we lost two up and coming rappers that was bound to be huge. And guess what it was all to do? Some street shit. Like when I was growing up, like I you know what I mean, dibbled and dabbled in that. But when I got older, I realized quick like it's not. This ain't like I wish I could remember South Central. This ain't like that. Like it ain't like where it's a community camaraderie. No, it's not like that. Everybody out for themselves. Just what it is. There's no loyalty in that. Like all that come with is a body bag for real. Like people can say jail all they want, but you just gonna end up dead in jail. Like so it's a body bag. Like you're not living in jail. Like you existing, bro. Like what kind of existence is that? It ends with you dead, period. That's all it leads to. Like and that's what they want. That's what people want. They want us to wipe each other out, all of that. Like just continue the cycle to where we don't go nowhere. And I'm not with that. That gotta change. So that's why, like I said, I don't promote that in my raps. Like I talk about my past life just in hopes that people can learn from it, not imitate it. I don't glorify it in any way. Like that's just it's not cool. Like just look at what's going on. Like these rappers, granted, some of them are living what they talk about. Like, but that's not what it's all about. It's cool to talk about it, bro, but just don't glorify it like that's the move. Like you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm riding with it. You know what I mean? I see what's his name. That's it. I'm blowing on him. Like, nah, bro. Like, that's not real life. That's not how you should handle your problems. Like I know it sounds juvenile. It sounds like, oh, I'm living in a fantasy, but nah, I really live that life, bro. Like really, I really got family members that's doing time behind that life. Like there's it's not nothing to play with. Like whoever listening to the music or whatever, if you just a fan, you not like stay a fan. This is for
Yeah.
entertainment only. We just like artists is just telling you their life. They not telling you to emulate it. That's where people be like, oh, these kids growing up. No, it's not the kids. It's up to the parents to be like, yo, this is entertainment. It's not real life. like, like you got to sit your kids down, make sure they got their head on. Like, it's not up to the artist to watch what they say. It's freedom of speech, man. Like, if you can't take what, look at our last president. If you can't take what somebody say without losing your mind, bro, you're not gonna make it in this life. That's
Yeah.
it. You're
All
not gonna
right.
make it. It's
Honestly.
already over.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Okay. So you're a full-time style coach.
That's that's just what I say. That's just some rapper cockiness. Like
So what did you mean by that?
like basically I'm really like foreshadowing to what I want to be. Like I really want to be motivational to people. Like how it was. I'm a real '90s head. So I love how it was back in the day. Like you hear Nas talking about how Preem put him on and stuff like that. How Jay-Z be putting people on. I want to be that dude. Like I don't want to be the dude that's just out for himself. That's what ADHD is all about. Like trying to build a community just to help people out. Like start artists starting out like you need studio time, you need video shot, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Just come to ADHD. We got everything here. Like, but
Speaking of
it's a
studio
work in
time,
progress.
no, no, I think, I mean, like I said, I think this you're doing great, but then, like, I guess I'm on the outside looking in. So,
Appreciate it. Yeah, because on the
so,
inside, it's just like, this is slow, man. It is slow.
so let's talk about professionalism in the
Okay.
artist community. Because you
Okay.
made a post saying, make sure that you're rehearsed, bring your own shit, bring your own music, bring your own weed. So, do you
Listen,
have any horror stories that'll entertain us? Please don't say any names, by the way.
no, no,
We
no,
do
I
our
don't do
stories.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, I I recently started recording myself like what 3 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Like, got my whole studio set up, everything. So in turn, I was just like, okay, how can I make some little extra money on the side? I'm like, obviously, I just record local artists in the city. You feel me? Which is part of the ADH thing. Like, it wasn't. It's not a money scheme. It's just that's just how I, what I mean, got the word out. Like, all right, you get this studio time for the low. Like, and then if anything, if you don't like it, you can go get it mixed and mastered for less because you're not paying for studio time. It'll be cheaper for you all the way around in the long run. So, anyways, you have artists come in. Certain artists, you could tell he's serious. He comes in, he got his beat ready. You know what I mean? He got his bars ready. Then you got some who want to punch in every line, and then you just like, you realize I'm not about to charge you just for a song, right? Like, you're paying by the hour at this point. Like, and it's it's just wild how much people try to take advantage. Like, just because I'm working out of home or whatever, you think like, first of all, I won't throw you out because I would. It's my shit. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, but second of all, you think that you can just waste my time. Like, my time is free. Like, nah, I work a real job behind this. Like 2 jobs behind this. Like, so I got to get up in the morning. You probably hitting the trap or laying up with your baby mama or whatever you doing. I'm on the grind, bro. Like, this does not stop, bro. Like, it don't stop at all. So it, the professionalism was really just to protect myself more than anything, because you can't make it in this industry without emulating like the way that successful people carry themselves, as far as being punctual, being literal, you know what I mean, enunciating, just, speaking with a clear voice, and just all kinds of things that I learned as I went along. Like, you have to be professional, even if you're in an unprofessional setting. That's just how it is. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, depending on the type of person you is. Like me, I can have a bad temper. You know what I mean? So being professional ain't always what I want to do. But like I said, it's not always about me. This is way bigger than me. It's like something I'm trying to accomplish for my family, my friends, like people I don't even know. So professionalism to me is very big. Like, I don't like wasting time, and I don't like wasting other people's time.
And also his reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because word of mouth is definitely one thing that'll tell people everything they need to know about you before they even meet you. Like, I done had a few sessions just off people was like, oh yeah, my dude told me about you, heard the quality, loved it. You know what I mean? Where can I get in? I'm like, who? I don't even. Where I know him from? Who you said again? Whose people is them? Oh, that's what's his name, cousin. All right, bet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come through, come through. You know what I mean? You know what I
So
mean? Like, I'm just saying, it's crazy.
speaking of reputation, so you and I have a mutual friend.
Oh yeah, my brother Info. He the one that told me to hit you up.
Wait, is
That's
that your
at the
brother
boy
brother?
is beautiful on Instagram. At the boy is beautiful on Instagram. I said at the boy is beautiful on Instagram. Info the great.
And Phil the Gray. Oh, I like that.
That's my little bro.
Like blood?
No, not blood, but like, I call him my little bro because he went back to the how rappers just be saying whatever. When I first started, I was that kind of rapper, but then he just like, he inspired me because he was so different, so conscious with the way he flowed and everything. And I ain't heard nothing like that for a minute, honestly. So I was like, oh, so we can rap. Oh, okay, all right, I'll do that then. Yeah, why not think of that? Duh. So I just started.
Why did
That's
I
when I
say?
really started taking it serious. So that's why I love him, bro. That's my bro for sure. He really motivated me. I tell him that all the time.
Oh, okay.
That was my
Congratulations, by the
fiance.
way.
Thank you. I was
Congratulations,
about
by
to
the
say,
way.
yeah, that was my fiance. Thank you.
How long have you guys been together?
Ooh, we've been knowing each other almost 2 years, probably dating for one and some change.
How did you
Yeah.
ask her? Sorry, this is like girl talk now.
Oh, no. It's cool because, like, to me, I'm a Libra, so I'm all lovey-dovey, and she an Aquarius, so she's just like appreciative, but she's just like, okay. And then, so me, I'm just like, all right, back, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do. I'm talking about sweating. I'm asking coworkers. I'm asking my bosses. I'm asking people that I know that's already married. Like, how did you do it? Okay, was it public? So, anyways, long story short, it didn't go how I planned it to go, which is fine. But I told her, don't make no plans. Like, we just going this date night. Don't make no plans. I'm taking you somewhere. I don't know where we doing something. So, anyways, I had to work that day, so I get off work, get ready or whatever. By the time we got ready, it was like real late. This is the day before Halloween, so it was like 8, 9 o'clock. So everything going on, everything was like closing down for real. So I'm like, eh. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna go to a drive-in movie. I had never been to a drive-in movie, so I'm like, this would be dope. So we go to a drive-in movie or whatever. I had bought her a dozen roses. Her favorite number is 11. So I bought her a dozen roses. And then on one, I obviously wrote, would you marry me? And then on the other 11, I listed reasons why I love her and want her to be my wife. So we have to drive in or whatever, the movie over and stuff. So I waited till the very end. Like, she knew about the roses and all of that, just didn't know what was on them. So anyways, the movie over or whatever. So she going through them. We get to the last one. Obviously, I'm hella nervous, so I'm fumbling with the ring and shit. It was in my side door. We in the car, obviously, so it's in the side of the door. I'm fumbling with the ring. So at this point, I'm like, all right, she knows something is up. So I'm trying to distract her, like, read the card. Read the card. Don't worry about read the card. So I grabbed the ring. It's in the pocket. So she read the card. She ain't saying nothing. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. I'm like, oh, that's not good. She not saying nothing. So she cover up her face, whatever, start blushing, all that. I'm like, all right, cool. So I just pop out the ring, like, fuck it, the moment of truth, pop out the ring. And then she like, you joking? I'm like, no, I'm dead ass serious. I'm like, I can't go days with just being your boyfriend like that. I just can't do that. Like, next level, it's time to level up. So yeah, I'm like, will you marry me? She said, of course. I'm like, bet.
Bet, okay.
Bet. Like,
Casual.
nah, I was all in the moment, like, word, for real. I've been an asshole. I didn't think she was gonna say yeah, for real.
I love that. So, if you had to fight an animal, but like a real animal, don't say like a dog or a cat or a rabbit, like
Oh,
a
we
real
get food.
animal. If you had to fight an animal, what would you fight?
I want to see what kangaroos is about. Everybody be talking crazy about kangaroos, like they can really box. I want to see. You seen Kangaroo Jack? I wish a kangaroo would.
I was a kangaroo.
I swear to God, I'm a sidestepping so fast. I'm gonna trip him off his tail, and then that's it right there. He hitting with a 2-piece.
I feel like you've thought about this before.
No, it was just that's the weed. It's just instant. When you a stoner, you just think about all types of wild stuff, and I'm seasoned in the smoking game, so it's like that.
Okay,
Next question.
what is
UFOs, yes. Aliens, absolutely. Ghosts, mm-hmm. All of that.
Are you a Joe Rogan fan?
I mean, like, when I see the little clips, yeah, but I can't do the podcast like when they.
I can't do a whole.
I
I
can't
need
watch
to
a whole
listen to it
thing.
in pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, like, plus I'll be working a lot. I don't have time. I don't have time. Just listen. They be like out an hour long too. I'm like,
4 hours. No,
bruh.
the election one was I think 3.5 hours.
See, after
It was
15 minutes of
entertaining
talking
though.
about Trump, dumbass, I'm ready to leave. Like, I don't, a whole 3 hours? 3.5 hours? No. Mm-mm. Wow, good for you. Good for you, Joe. You really, wow. Mm-mm.
What's your favorite lyric that you've ever written?
Ooh, I can't do that.
The
Ooh,
first one that came to your mind. You thought of one. First one that came to your
it's
mind.
this is the only thing. Like the way I write them is like four bars would be one bar, like, but they be all bars if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
give
So
me the whole.
I said
Or
like it's on my project coming out. It say, "Dear diary, how could they lie to me? They were supposed to inspire me. My passion inspired me, not a simmering." Like, and that's just I like that line because this is when I started taking rap serious. So that's when I was like made up in my head, like, all right, it's gonna be people that's gonna lie to you, hype you up, ain't gonna support you. Like, so now I was like, I'm like checking myself, like, dear diary, like, yeah, your passion was fiery, now it's simmering. What happened? Like, you know what I mean? Need to rekindle this old flame because it's dwindling. Like, that's why they all go together, they all coincide, but it's just like, yo, no matter what happens, like find some way to keep that spark alive. Like that goes for everything. Like your passion in work and passion in getting dressed and loving the person that you in love with, family members, all of that. Like no matter what go on, like just try to keep that flame alive because life is short. Like life is way too short. Like to just be holding on to grudges and all of that. No, I'm learning that as I get older.
I'm
But
trying to learn that too.
those are my favorite.
What venue would you love to perform in?
Um, actually, I don't know if it's a venue, but it's a show. I'm pretty sure you heard of South by Southwest.
Yeah.
I want to do that because that's where a lot of artists interact with each other at, and I definitely want to do that one day. Turn that up. Oh my God, that's let's go.
Do you want to plug the Push to the Limit project that's coming out in December? Are you allowed to talk about that or not right now?
What is that?
The Push to the Limit project, the Christmas project.
I don't know what that is. I never heard of that.
Yes, you posted it on your Facebook.
The
You're
Push It.
collaborating with someone.
Oh no. They probably tagged me.
Yeah.
I get tagged in a lot of stuff that I'm still going through stuff I get tagged in. Like a lot of artists in the city be tagging me and stuff. So I got to go back and what's it called again?
You're so fun. Push to the Limit.
Push to the limit. Okay, it sounds familiar. I remember glancing at that, but yeah, I got to go back and look at that. But whatever it is, if it got to do with music, I'm definitely on it. Or if it got to do with music or the community, I'm there.
All right, where can we like you, stalk you, follow you, all that fun stuff?
Facebook at Justin Davis, so you can get to my music page at Kid Foolie. What's up, Ray? And then on Instagram at ADHD World 93, no underscores, no capitals. Um, SoundCloud Kid Foolie. Snapchat, that's where I post like a lot of teasers and stuff. So Snapchat is also Kid Foolie. Um, yeah, that's really it. I don't really be active on Twitter or nothing else. I really need to get out there more, but
What
I'm low
you don't
key.
need to go on Twitter unless you're political. So
Noted. That's why it
give a
ain't
link.
working for me. That's oh yeah, YouTube also at Kid Foolie. I got
Do
a
you have a
couple
link tree
videos.
where you can send me this so I can share that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Send me that afterwards. And then last question before I let you go. Um, there are a lot of artists out there right now.
Right.
How does one stand out?
To be honest, that's a question that I'm still asking myself
Mm.
because as of right now, the only difference that I have to go off of is my content. I don't, to be honest, like I hate being on social media. That's why you never see me post a lot. It's just like little things like my kids, music, my fiance as of recent. I don't really do the whole posting my whole life thing. Like here and there, but I don't know how to do the whole social media thing. And I know that's one of the ways that a lot of artists are blowing up right now. So as of right now, like I said, I don't know. All I have is content. So hopefully when I release these projects, everybody can tap in and just see what it's about. Maybe with more feedback as the feedback keeps coming in, then I'll be more active because it'll be like, oh, who is this that's liking and sharing? You know what I mean? But as of right now, I don't really have a huge need to be on social media, just the way I work and try and get this music out to y'all. That's really it for real. But if any other artists are looking, I would always say just be genuine, like be yourself. Don't stop trying to sound like everybody else. Trust me, it gets boring. As a fan and a lover of music, as well as an artist, it gets boring being repetitive, having the same style, same flow, talking about the same message over and over. It gets boring. Like, I mean, I hope eventually it changes. Like, just people just talking about real topics, really talking about themselves. Like, you would not imagine how many people relate to you if you just put yourself out there like that.
Mm.
But that's really it for real. Just be yourself. Oh yeah, like what's that? Clark Mission. Be authentic. Like that's it.
I
That's
think
all.
she's the best. She's probably gonna reach out to you after this.
Oh, for sure. Tap
I,
in.
I
Tap
I
in.
endorse her. She's trustworthy.
For sure.
So
Tap
I don't
in.
know if you saw this, but recently I just hosted a hip hop roundtable. I'm
I
kind of
saw that.
putting you on the spot right now, but it's it's a collaboration of artists, and we talk about current events in music and life, etc., etc. And I plan on doing it again next year. Would you like to join?
Absolutely. Sign me up. Where do I
Okay.
sign? Would you just
Okay.
you
Cool.
want me to
Cool.
air sign kid for me next year?
Okay, cool,
We
cool.
there.
So we'll definitely be in contact between now and next year. Stay alive.
Yeah. For
So
sure. For sure. For sure. Like I said, I promise y'all I ain't making that kind of content. We good over here. We good. We
okay.
good.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you for
You know.
having me.
I feel like this is like a black people thing though. Like when your family stops you, you're like, oh, I have to talk to them. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
if one of my people's called me, I would have told you the same thing. Like, yeah, it like, I swear, just 1 second. Like, I still tell them like, yo, I got something going on, but it's like I gotta see what's going on. It go back to that you never know. Like, life is short. Like,
That's
I
true.
can't waste time. Like, I'm a big family person.
That's true. I guess I should have been more grateful, but then I was like, yeah. So I'll talk to you another time.
Yeah, like, nah. As soon as you told me, I was like, oh yeah, that ain't no thing. I know how that go
I
for sure.
appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll be in communication. Send me all your links and stuff. Okay.
I will. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna be in contact. I want to do this again.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. You have a good night.
You too.
Bye.